everyone, and welcome back to Galaxy Explorers! On this episode, we'll be talking about the newly discovered solar system and the possibility of it having aliens. You heard it right, aliens. Unfortunately, chances are we might never find aliens in this lifetime, and all extraterrestrial life will look a little bit like this. Not like the ones we all remember seeing on TV shows like South Park and American Dad. Sorry, Roger. There are 5 main types of microbes that could possibly live in other planets: fungi, algae, protozoa, bacteria, and archaea. Yes, a virus is also a microbe, but they can't self-replicate, so they can't exist without a viable host, and none have been found in outer space yet.
Algae are a group of simple, typically autotrophic organisms. Some have one cell and others have many cells. The largest and most complex marine algae are called seaweeds. They are like plants and simple because they lack the many distinct organs found in land plants. For that reason, they are not classified as plants. Though protozoa are tiny single-celled organisms that are almost all eukaryotic and heterotrophic. They come in many different shapes and sizes, ranging from an amoeba, which can change its shape, to a paramecium, which has a fixed shape and complex structure. They live in a fungi can be single-celled or very complex multicellular organisms. They are found in just about any habitat, but most live on the land, mainly in soil or on plant material rather than in the sea or fresh water.
Bacteria are microscopic single-celled organisms that thrive in diverse environments. They can live within soil, in the ocean, and even inside the human gut. Microorganisms can be distinguished in whether they are autotrophic or heterotrophic, as in when they use their carbon sources, phototrophic or chemotrophic for their energy sources, and lastly, lithotrophic or organotrophic for the electron sources.
Archaea generally live in extreme environments. No nucleus, or membrane-bound organelles, distinguished into groups by their environments. Halophiles live in high salt concentrations and require salt for growth, and are adapted to be aerobic and heterotrophic. Thermophiles live in very high temperatures. Many require elemental sulfur for growth. Some are anaerobes that use sulfur instead of oxygen, and some are lithotrophs that oxidize sulfur into sulfuric acid as an energy source, so they're adapted to very low pH. Acidophile as well as thermophile. These organisms are inhabitants of hot, sulfur-rich environments usually associated with volcanism, such as hot springs, geysers, and fumaroles. Methanogens, on the other hand, break down cellulose and tough carbohydrates made by plants, leaving behind methane as a waste product. Methanogens are spherical or rod-shaped. They are mostly anaerobic organisms. So with such a wide variety of existing microbes, why haven't we been able to find any extraterrestrial life in our solar system? There are 2 main questions in the search for life. With so many places to look, how can we focus on the places most likely to harbour life? And what are the unmistakable signs of life, even if it comes in a form we don't fully understand?
There are planets and moons we would be most likely to expect extraterrestrial life to exist on, and Mars has one of the highest chances of finding life. Mars remains perennially popular for those hunting for otherworldly protoplasm. Particularly intriguing are the dark stripes that appear in the Martian summertime at Horowitz Crater. These are likely to be salty meltwater only inches beneath Mars's dusty epidermis. A relatively simple probe could sample this muddy environment.
Europa had subsurface oceans capable of hosting microbial life. These would survive off of hot spots at their bottom, which are like little mini volcanoes, and that would give you energy for life. The downside is that Europa's vast and salty seas lie beneath roughly 10 miles of ice that's harder than the Chemtrails calculus. There could be something down there, subsisting on geothermal heat or complex molecules from the surface.
Enceladus has geysers of frozen water spewing from the cracks in the southern hemisphere. The best guess is that reservoirs of liquid water lie beneath the frozen exterior, kept warm by gravitational interactions between this moon and the other members of the Saturnian system. The necessities for life are there, so is there life? Maybe. But for now, jump in and let's go for a ride to SRAM in the newly discovered galaxy, Starburst.
Us scientists believe there could be up to 12 planets in the Starburst solar system, but having found 3 of them is already a massive accomplishment. Now that we have arrived on SRAM, let me show you around. SRAM has a yellow dusty surface appearance due to its high sulfur content, but the dust has a soil-like texture filled with vitamins and minerals. The atmosphere of this planet has absolutely no oxygen, which is perfect for the obligate anaerobic bacteria which thrive here. In the hot sulfur springs on this planet, we found purple bacteria called Ectothyroidospiraceae, which produce sulfur particles outside their cells. The dusty surface of the planet harbours thousands of green sulfur bacteria that can survive in extreme conditions, like photosynthetic bacteria. The atmosphere is largely composed of nitrogen oxide, but both types of bacteria on this planet are photosynthetic and don't rely on the atmosphere.
Our next planet is freezing cold. Trapped below the frozen surface is a deep saltwater ocean with miniature volcanoes, providing heat to some of the most interesting microbial life in this galaxy. The hydrothermal vent allows communities to sustain such vast amounts of life because vent organisms depend on chemosynthetic bacteria for food. The water from the hydrothermal vent is rich in dissolved minerals and supports a large population of chemoautotrophic bacteria. The ecosystem is reliant upon the continued existence of hydrothermal vent fields as the primary source of energy, which differs from most surface life on Earth, which is based on solar energy. No sunlight penetrates the surface of this planet into the depths of the water, but surrounding these vents are photosynthetic bacteria which use the faint glow from the vent for photosynthesis.
The final planet is planet Skittles. This planet is completely covered in tar. Despite this being a hostile and extreme environment, living organisms still manage to survive with no water and no oxygen. The methane bubbles coming out of the tar pit was a major sign that methanogen archaea could exist in the pit. In the absence of oxygen, methane is produced by bacteria that use carbon dioxide for respiration instead of oxygen. Some of the microbes live on sulfur, iron, or methane and other hydrocarbons, and some even breathe out metals.
You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me.
Surface.
When the road looks rough ahead and you're miles and miles from your nice warm bed, you just remember what your old past said.